Good evening, good morning, everyone. You know what time it is. It's Thursday and time for Hometown Hammer. Everyone, welcome back. It's been a great summer. As you can tell, I've been working on my tan. I've missed everyone and ready to kick off this next season of Hometown Hammer. I think you guys will be pretty excited. I have a couple new things. Couple of new segments that we'll do. So it'll be an exciting year. So a lot of things have changed. To give you some updates on what's been going on with our American Hammers family. Mark from Philly, he just had a baby, a little girl, which we're super excited about here. Alex, the Mississippi Hammer, has been so bored at home that he put together a puzzle of London Stadium. So everyone has to ask him to see that. Peach, our fellow Canadian in the chat room, has been doing dares for little Jake and ended up getting into a rumble with the police. So there's been a lot going on, and we're going to talk about all of that. This season, we'll get into everything. But the other thing is, lost my COVID pounds since we haven't been doing our Thirsty Thursdays. I lost a little bit of the COVID poundage, and I got another dog. So here's my new dog that I got from the lovely Tebow. He is my now new mascot, Buster. So Buster will be joining us from time to time. And I see everybody's rolling into the chat room. So this is great. Wally, Neil, Peach, Rob. We got Tebow. And James. So we're ready to kick it off. So tonight I have a very special guest for you. As you know, it wouldn't be a Hometown Hammer without an awesome guest. So tonight, I want to introduce to you, he has been on our other Hammers channel shows, but not mine. And it's been pretty shocking because I swore I thought he was, but he is not. So I hope everyone will be excited tonight to get to talk to Cameron. Hey, Cameron, how's it going?
Good. How are we doing?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, of course.
So let's get into it. Tell everyone where you're from, how they can follow you on social media, and all that jazz.
Yeah, so I'm Cameron, based in Richmond, Virginia, trying to start up a small supporters group. Trevor, Dad, Matt, Barry, if you guys are listening, we need to hang out at the pub soon. But other than that, that's me.
Yeah, so we definitely need to get you a supporters group. I know we are working on, we've been working on the Carolinas. I don't know what's come from Myrtle Beach. We did have one supporter there. I hope people over the summer have been able to connect with him. So yes, everyone connect with Cameron if they are in the Virginia area. And you're close to, are you close to Virginia Beach?
So about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Virginia Beach, about the same from DC.
Okay.
So kind of right in the middle of everything. So really great city. Kind of if you ever want to go hang out on a river and kind of we've got a great pub in town and everything that shows all the Premier League matches and everything. If you ever want to come hang out, I've got probably about 3 or 4 different hammers that I hang out with on a regular basis and watch the matches with. So definitely come and hang out.
You know, that might have to be what I do one of these matches because the shores here are crowded and I need a little getaway. So might have to come down there and watch a West Ham game, especially if you're right on the river. That sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah. Come down and watch the match. We'll go tubing down the river afterwards with a bunch of beers and it'll be fun.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. All right. So we'll have to get that set up. Yes, Charlie boy, I am back. We're ready to go. We're ready for a full season of fun. Hey, Neil. Definitely good to see you on tonight. And I can't believe it's already Friday morning for you. Wally, I see you. Thanks for coming out. All right. So how did you become a West Ham fan? Let's talk about that.
So it is just quite frankly a family thing for me. So my dad just turned 63 this past weekend, or past week. And he was born in Bromley and grew up during the kind of Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters era of West Ham and everything, and just kind of being in that side of London at that time, even though neighborhood-wise, he probably should have been a Crystal Palace fan. He fell in love with West Ham and watching them. So supported them ever since, and then raised my brother and I on supporting them. So it's just kind of been one of those things that is kind of just born into it. So
yeah, that's awesome. So with your dad celebrating, has he does he have plans to go back to London to see a game, or has he gone over to see games?
So the last time that he took my brother and I over, both of us, was when I was like 12, and we actually ended up not being able to go to a match.
Okay.
But he's gone over with my brother before when my brother was doing some time in Scotland, kind of doing a semester abroad type deal, and they got to go to a match together. When West Ham came over here stateside last time and they played Carolina Railhawks, they got to go down. At the time I was working in hotels, so I had really shitty hours. So I wasn't able to go. Bummer.
Oh, darn. Yeah. Yeah, well, I missed it too, so don't feel bad. But I did actually go to London to see a match, and it was phenomenal. So you have to definitely put that on your bucket list.
It's absolutely there. Absolutely so.
So who's your favorite player now?
Current team, I have to say Mikel Antonio.
Okay.
He's just a hell of a personality, and I just absolutely love how he's an absolute bully on the ball, and kind of like him just kind of putting it out there for the club, and he's pretty much played everywhere but center back, and he's fun to watch. So yeah, he's kind of currently the guy that I've kind of been kind of really supporting and kind of putting my weight behind. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with him. He sent me a Valentine, so some of our supporters in the chat room had seen that Valentine. But yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Mikel Antonio. I have big expectations for him this year, and I'm hoping to that he gets the support he needs from Ben Rama and Bowen. Hopefully they'll be able to put some in the back of the net, and we won't have anything to worry about this season. So, yeah, let's hope he doesn't miss any goals right in front.
As long as he takes care of those hamstrings, if he misses the odd sitter, I'm okay with that. We kind of expect that from him at this point.
Yeah.
When he sends the ball into Rosie, it's a present for somebody. That's fine.
West Ham Network's in the house. Thanks for coming out, guys. So who is the team that you hate the most in the Premier League?
Oof. That's a tricky one. Surprisingly enough, I think just based more upon the supporters groups around here than anything, it's Arsenal, because the guys here that are Arsenal fans are absolutely unbearable and just absolutely terrible to be around. The pub I hang out at is mostly Liverpool and Tottenham, actually. There's another pub that kind of does Arsenal and Man United. But so the Liverpool guys and the Tottenham guys, I actually get along quite well with. Like kind of there's always the banter and the rivalry and everything, but it's actually just one of those things where they're good dudes. They're fun to banter with. They don't take it too seriously, and we'll just rag on each other the entire time. It's kind of fun. The Arsenal crew here in Richmond take themselves entirely too seriously. Like, want to be hard men, that type of deal and everything. So like it's actually just obnoxious going to their pub and watching a game. So
and did you say what pub you actually go to? Is it it's strictly West Ham, or it's just all premier games?
So I go to Penny Lane Pub here in Richmond. The owner is, by virtue of the name, he's a Scouser. Born and bred out of Liverpool and everything. He's run security way back in his heyday and everything. He's like 80 years old now, but he ran security for a bunch of kind of like Liverpool matches and Liverpool players and everything, and ran security for the Beatles, that sort of thing. But just terrific family. Him and his son run the joint, and it's just a great place to hang out. They kind of welcome everybody. They're rather quite fond of like fans from clubs that aren't top six and everything. So I showed up there in a West Ham kit one day, and they sat me down, and literally every other TV was showing the Liverpool match, and they put the one TV on just for me right here. And I was just like, yeah, okay, this is my place.
Oh, good. No, that's awesome. Yeah. It sounds like a fun place. At least, they're welcoming, and it's funny. So one of the new segments I was trying to work on, or that I'm going to try to accomplish this season, is to bring in fans from other teams, and kind of for us to have sort of a head-to-head, discussion of the next game that we're having. So I reached out to a couple of Newcastle folks, and I had 3 of them that committed and 3 of them that could not come at the last minute. So that's okay. We'll have plenty of fun of our own here. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think Sunday is going to be like? I'm interested to get your opinion, because I have an opinion, and I really wanted to rag on those Newcastle folks. But
my biggest thing is I am hoping and praying that Joe Willock didn't sign in time to be able to play on Sunday, because that dude came on and scored on us in within 5 minutes, and it was actually quite a good goal, and I quite like him as a player. I just don't want him to play on Sunday. So
yeah,
I have him in my fantasy team, so slightly biased, but yeah, this Sunday I hope he's not playing. So
I haven't signed up for fantasy. Has that been cut off?
No, I think you should still be good. I think you've probably got about 6 hours to.
I know I'm cutting it close. I always do. So all right, I'll definitely have to sign up after this. We set up a league, so if anyone's interested, it's free. So yeah, jump in, and or just message me on social media, and I'll get you all set up with our league.
Send it to me.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely send it to you. If anyone in the chat wants it, just send me a ping on Twitter, or yeah, let's go with Twitter tonight, because I can't keep all my eyes on social media everywhere. So what do you think about this transfer window? How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling negative? Where do you fall on the scale of this?
Well, so I will preface this with saying that I've been pretty much GSB out since we left Upton Park. So just generally not happy. I think at this point we're more of a joke than anything. I mean, just every single transfer we've gone through this window so far is oh, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, or we're going to do it. Oh, there's this one thing that we don't want to pay an extra $2 million on, so it transfers off. Sorry, we tried. Yeah. And it's just really? If we focused on the team instead of money, then we would actually sign some players.
You would think. You would think.
That being said, I don't think this whole PAI capital takeover thing and everything is helping matters. I think this is just really poor timing on their part. That being said, I'm not opposed to them ish.
Well, I don't think anyone's opposed just because of the pure fact of we can get rid of Gold, Brady, and Sullivan, but Yeah,
I have concerns, but that being said, worst case scenario, in my opinion, part of my job is I do a lot with real estate and hotel data analytics, that sort of thing. So just having a lot of the people I work with every day are investors and people that work with real estate property investors, that sort of thing. If the club loses $100 million in value because we suck, they aren't going to be able to make that back on the real estate. So at the very least, they have to keep us status quo, worst case scenario. That's my opinion on it. Don't have anything solid to back that up. That's just kind of my general feeling on it is they can't be any worse, and they'll probably be a hell of a lot less embarrassing unless they keep Karen Brady on to have a Sun column every weekend and just say really stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Karen, I mean, she's a waste. So, all right. Now, everybody probably has some pretty strong opinions on the kits we have this year. Which one would you say is your favorite? Do you have any opinions about the second kit? Because everyone does.
I mean, to be fair to everybody, it does look like a Tesco bag. That being said, like actually seeing it on players and everything, I think it looks pretty sharp. Out of the three, is it my least favorite?
I'm a huge fan of it. Yeah. Even with the Betway logo on it, I know a lot of people don't like it. But I am definitely eyeballing it.
Logo, and then it looks fantastic on you, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. Wally's about the third kit. Wally, I really do like that too. It's really sharp.
That third kit is really clean and just I'm a big fan of the third kit. I think we've had I think this is honestly the third or fourth year in a row where our third kit's honestly been my favorite one. So
yeah, at first I couldn't get behind that purple color. But it grew on me. So who would you say frustrates you the most on the current squad?
Ooh. I would have to say Diop, honestly. There's a really, really good player in there somewhere. And I can see it, and he obviously loves the club and everything. It's just some of his decision making is just frustrating. And it's one of those things where I dearly, dearly want to love him, but he just needs to make better decisions. I kind of feel like a dad to him at this point because of that opinion.
So if we had to decide in the battle of the checks of Souček or Coufal, who would you pick and why?
I would say Coufal, actually. I like his personality. I think he is honestly one of the best right backs in the Premier League right now. Not even exaggerating. He did an absolutely fantastic job last year. His end product could probably use a little bit of work, but just like the amount of effort that he puts in and some of his gut busting runs that he made back to just like do a last ditch tackle and save things. Typically when I go out and I still play and everything, I usually play as a fullback and everything. So just I gravitate towards those players in that role where I'm like, I want to be like him. So.
Well, I think that's very honorable, and congratulations to you to be able to still get out there and kick the balls around. Because I'm retired, no more. But I'm with you. I'm a big Coufal fan.
It's been almost an entire year since I actually joined a league and everything. I'm getting back into it for the fall league here. And went out with the guys that I'm going to be joining the team for and everything to just kind of have a kick around the other day. And holy shit, my lower back was just like absolutely shot at the end of it. It's just like, when did I get so old?
Yeah, it happens. It's rough. It gets rough. So since your father is a diehard West Ham fan, did he pass down any sort of chants to you or songs that, over the years you've heard that is your favorite?
Not necessarily from him. It was just one of those things that like kind of probably in my later teens is when I actually started like actually getting involved and actually like really following the club and the culture of the club and everything. So my dad is and if he's watching this, I love you to death, but he's a very, very mild mannered person. So kind of being like a lot of the chants are probably just not his style.
Yeah, yeah. Bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bubbles.
I was raised on that song pretty much and everything. So, I mean, like that one is always going to play a very near dear kind of part of my heart and everything. But, I mean, just as I got involved, the Frank Lampard chants are always hilarious. Um, a lot of I've got a couple of family members actually that are kind of on my wife's side that are Chelsea fans. So
Ooh.
I will absolutely tell them to shove their blue flag up their arse. So
Nice. Yes, that's great. That's perfect. Love it. I love a good little competition here and there. And I saw earlier Charlie Boy. He wants to come in when we bring in a Spurs fan. Absolutely, Charlie Boy. I will get you to go head to head with a Spurs fan. That would be great. So we'll definitely do that. So I'll save the date for you for Spurs. So apple pie or meat pie? So the All American or the UK fashion favorite?
I have to go with the meat pies, honestly.
Yeah.
So in a past life, I was a chef and everything, and just like there was a food cart in the city that I was in that I mean, they just had absolutely glorious meat pies and everything. So it was just one of those things that was just like when you're in the kitchen and everything, you don't really have time to grab a bite to eat. You'd go and grab a pie from them on the way into work and everything. And it was just kind of very like you're walking into the kitchen with a hand pie, and it was that sort of thing. So those are very near and dear to my heart. I'm not really a sweets person in general, so I'm definitely taking that over apple pie any day of the week.
So as we're looking towards the season, what would you say is the position that is ultimately needed for us to get in player wise during this transfer window?
100% it has to be a striker to not only be a backup to Antonio, but compete with Antonio. Um, he's, again, my favorite player on the team, but at the same time, he needs somebody who's going to push him forward and turn him into even that much more of a number nine and make him work on his finishing and just kind of take him to that next level because he can still improve. Yeah, he's what, like 31, 32 now, I think.
Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is like a 33. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, you're right. He's getting up there.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, like if he could work on his finishing and get to be a like strong finisher, he could absolutely be in contention for a golden boot just because he puts himself in those positions, he creates those positions, and he works his ass off for it. So
Yeah, yeah. He's right there.
yeah, so if he has somebody who's actually a genuine threat to his starting spot, I think he'll actually become that much better of a player and he'll fight for his spot and everything because he seems to have that personality. It's not like he's going to back down. So
Very true. Very true. So it's obviously early for predictions for us. But what is your kind of gut feeling on where you think this season will take us?
I would say my heart says that we'll be top six. My brain says probably top 10.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would really, hope and love that we could at least be in the top six. But yeah, I'm definitely putting us in the middle there. But it's to me, in my opinion, it's better than we were, 2 years ago, being in the 16th, 17th
Oh yeah.
area.
And my thing is honestly more than anything, like if we finish like 12th, 13th, like solidly mid-table, but we go on a really great cup run and get Mark Noble a cup in his final year, I'm 100% okay with that. I'm 1,000% okay with that. I would love to see Mark Noble lift a trophy that's not the Betway Cup.
It would be nice to see him end on a high note, have him have a good last go around this year. Now, another topic of controversy last year was Moyes playing Ben Rama and how tough he was on him, and how a lot of us felt like he should have gotten more playing time. James believes that Ben Rama will tear it up this season. I think he looked great in preseason. Moy says he has high expectations for him. What are you thinking? Do you think that he'll be one of the missing pieces of the striking or the striker role for us?
Honestly, I think he's going to be our top goal scorer this year. Just with how he's looked in preseason, and he's definitely seemed like he's kind of turning that next level and everything, and wanting to prove himself. And honestly, as far as man management goes, I think that Moyes may have done the right thing for long-term Ben Rama, where, yeah, he kind of froze Ben Rama out of the squad for a while and everything, and didn't give him the minutes he maybe deserved, but he came into preseason hungry. So it's going to be, honestly, like, I'm hoping that we play on Sunday and Ben Rama nets a hat trick and makes that his opening statement for the year. And again,
yeah, it would be nice.
Selfishly, because I do also have him in my fantasy league. So.
Oh, okay. So everything's caveated by fantasy league. If it's in Cameron's fantasy league, it's okay. We're good to go. So Ben Rama time, James, you're right. I think it is his time to step up. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm here for it because he is such a generous person. He brings a lot to the team. I think that, if Moy says he's improved tremendously, I think that he is going to have a great season, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm just hoping that Bowen can keep up as well. Interesting comment. Neil says that he hopes we don't get Lingard back. Yeah, I think you mean just for the pure sake of playing time for Ben Rama, and I agree. But I would still love to have Lingard. I mean, it would be nice. What do you think about that, Cameron? Do you think if we get a look at him, or?
I would honestly rather not get Lingard back and give Ben Rama more playing time. Personally, I think Lingard just had a really, really good purple patch when he came in. And I mean, Lingard did honestly die off a bit towards the end of the season, and he wasn't producing as much. So I think that Ben Rama is going to be hungry for minutes and hungry for goals and hungry for glory. And he's going to try and take that with both hands and run with it. So, honestly, if we don't get Lingard, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah, I can see that. I understand, I do think the two of them can play very well together. So I'm not overly concerned. True. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it would be nice with the improvements that he's made to see him out on the pitch more. Someone had asked how many. Here you go, Charlie Boy. How many signings do you think we'll bring in before the deadline? I mean, we're creeping up on it. So honestly, Charlie Boy, I'm thinking only 2, but
honestly, at this point, with how our transfer window is going and everything that's going on, I would be more happy. Like, if we get a signing, I'll be okay.
I think we're going to get 2. I think we'll get a striker, and I think we're going to get somebody in the midfield. I really want someone defensively, but I don't think that that's going to come through. but I could be proven wrong. I don't know what their discussions are. And all the rumors make it seem like we're, looking at another 25-year-old. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with the transfers. Is I'm trying not to pay too much attention until I see somebody with a shirt in their hand. So,
word, Peach, word. Charlie says he doesn't trust any of them. I absolutely agree. We can't trust GSB.
We can't trust them to sign somebody. I mean, from everything it sounds like, we're fiddling ourselves over Milinkovic out of agent fees, which, I mean, if they're super excessive, then they're super excessive. That's fine and everything, but just pay the damn fees and get the player in, because that's what we actually need.
Yeah, we need to stop taking in players, buying them for expensive prices and reselling them very low. As well, that would be helpful. Yeah, Rob, you hit the nail on the head. The fact that we've only made one signing so far, it is quite of a nail biter. But can we not all agree that this is something that has been a pattern? We know we've been here before. Yeah, you're right, Pete. Yes. GSB going so badly.
Hashtag GSB out.
Yeah, right. So it'll be interesting. How do you think we'll fare playing in the Euros this year?
I think it's a really great opportunity for Connor Coventry and Ben Johnson to step up, because they're going to be the players that we end up relying on.
Yeah.
Alves is probably on that list too. And I mean, if they can make that jump and step up and make a statement, then I think we'll do well. I think that if they're not ready for that level, then we're going to flunk out real quick. And then we end up in the Europa Conference League for several games. And then after that, we drop out completely out of Europe. And then,
Charlie Boy liked your hashtag fingers, by the way. I am expecting big things from Ben Johnson this year. I think with him getting, I believe it was Young Hammer of the Year last year, one of the most improved players, I think that you're right. I think that this is his opportunity to step up. And I hope that by the end of the season, I am talking about him incessantly, because I think that he will improve and continue to do so. So that's the player that I, want to keep my eye on. Is there any player that you feel like will make big improvements over this season?
After the preseason, I actually really want to see more of Coventry.
Okay.
I think he looked solid on the ball. I thought he looked very forward-thinking and looking to progress the ball, and he looked good. And I mean, that was against teams like Champions League teams like Celtic and Atlanta and everything. So, I mean, if he can do it against Champions League quality sides, well, I mean, I wouldn't quite call Celtic Champions League quality side personally, but that's another conversation. But
hey, Jesse, so good to see you. I'm glad you got to jump on tonight. Yeah, well, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, why we haven't gotten a striker yet. It is frustrating. I think they're holding out. They're waiting to make a deal. They can't be spending all that money on a striker. I mean, they really got to, save those dollars. So it's frustrating. But I will get in contact with you, Jesse, because I do need to figure out how we can get you on. So we will chat later for sure. Hey, Athers. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah. Charlie Boy hit the nail on the head right here. Poverty Football Club. That's the hashtag us. Like, seriously. Oh, it's rough. It's rough. James says 10 goals for Ben Rama, 40-1. It'd be nice. It would be nice having someone else be our top goal scorer.
Yeah.
I think we've been obviously too reliant on Antonio. And that's been really tough.
And I think he takes that burden on himself a bit too, and that's why he plays himself to death and rips out his hamstrings and everything, is because he feels like he needs to.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, with him not taking care of that, it's just going to continue over and over and over. Hamstrings are just one of those things that you just can't get rid of. And it's not, you know, a big damaging thing like a blown out knee or anything like that. It's just you tweak it and then you think you're good after several weeks of PT, and then you tweak it again and you're right back where you were before. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think Jesse, I think to answer your question, I think it's just going to happen at the end of this window. So how do you feel like the game will go on Sunday, having fans back? So one of the thoughts is, you know, we're going to win, of course. The other thought is, no, with fans being back in the stadiums, Newcastle fans are going to be rowdy and ready to go. That's going to disrupt us, and, you know, we'll end up tying. Do you think that, you know, having the fans back will be a factor? How do you think that'll play out for us?
Honestly, I think the spot that's going to be a problem is right below the board's box, quite frankly. Because, I mean, at this point, we're going into the weekend making one loan to buy out of a goalkeeper. So we now have 4 goalkeepers on the roster, and we haven't signed any outfield players. We've sold 2, maybe 3, I forget. So we have literally the thinnest squad that we have ever had. And I think that the fans that are going to be in the stadium are going to react to that, and they're going to have their words with GSP.
Wally says there's only one man that can neutralize St. Maximum. I like to call him St. Maximilian, so I'm going to continue to do so for the rest of my life. So, Wally, please tell me who, because I'm thinking Sioux Fowl, unless you think someone different. I would love to hear, Wally.
Honestly, that season I really liked when we did Sioux Fowl and Fredericks against Graylish, because I thought that worked quite well.
Yeah, they did well.
Could be a solid option for this weekend, personally.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that is going to be the plan. I haven't seen anything in regards to the official lineup. Of course, we probably won't get that until early Saturday morning. But what are you thinking we should play position-wise? Do you think we should go with a like 4-4-2, a 3-4-3?
I kind of like the 4-2-3-1 that we kind of played.
Okay. Yeah, we were doing
last year with kind of back 4, and then Suchek and Rice, and then kind of the combination of Benrahma, Fornals, Bowen, and then Antonio up front. I think that worked quite well, and I don't see any reason to change it.
Yeah, I do. I just think that is a little more defensive for us. I'd like to be a little bit more on the attack. I think that there were often times when we were up in games and we fell back to become defensive, and that's where we ended up tying and or losing when we shifted. So I'm a little worried about that. But I will be very interested to see how Moy sets us up, because I think that that's going to dictate our success for the game. Rob says Fredericks is third choice for a right back at the moment.
Hey, Katie, I'm so sorry. I just got to go pop out and let the dog
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely chat away.
I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Sunday brings. I'm definitely more on the hopeful side. I think that, we're going to come out ahead 2-0. I don't know if anyone else has an opinion on Sunday. I'm not worried about fans being back in. Doesn't bother me. I think we tend to do very well, even with the fans. Injury wise, it looks like Agbana Masuaku, which is going to hurt us if Augie isn't out. Ha! James says back drawer. That's funny. Oh, banker drawer. Yeah. Rob, boring 1-1 incoming. Yeah. Why is that? Why do we never play well against Newcastle? I never understood that because I always feel like we are much better talent-wise, other than St. Maximilian, and yeah, James agrees. And their other goal scorer. I don't know. I think we can pull it out ahead as long as we're not set up in a 4-4-2. I'd like to see more of a 4-3-3. Get someone to help support more offensively up top. Ooh, Neil, thank you. I hope Neil saying 2-1 West Ham. Yeah, I just think that if we can neutralize St. Maximum, like you said, with like Fredericks, Sufal, we should definitely be able to be okay. Rob, neither team will be sharp. I don't know. I think that we'll be able to come out with some heat. It would be great if Benrahma hits that goal. And
Honestly, I got $10 on Benrahma getting a goal and assist, so that says my confidence behind him. So
yeah, I think so. Jesse wants us to talk about the pack schedule, FA Cup, Premier League, Europa League. Yeah, we chatted a little bit about this earlier with Cameron, and I think it's gonna, my opinion on it, I think we're gonna struggle. I think that, we need to try to stay as healthy as possible. Of course, we very much struggled with that at the end of last season. So it's definitely one of my top concerns for this year, which is why I think we'll end up in the middle of the pack at the end of the season. I hope I'm wrong, of course.
So one of my biggest concerns right now is, from what I understand, is we're moving to a 9-man bench, if I saw correctly.
Yeah, we are.
Do we have like 8 outfield players aside from our starting 11?
That's where we're running into a problem, and that's where this transfer window really should be
Like,
helping us.
Actually even fill out the bench now with everybody healthy.
Exactly. So that's the problem we're going to run into. Rob believes that Benrahma will get the goal, which is, what I brought up before. Rob, 3 in the back with Noble starting. I don't think so. And I know you're just joking, Rob, but I agree. Yeah, we definitely. James thinks 4-2-3-1.
I like to.
I could get behind that. Yeah. Wally says plenty of goalies to fill out the bench. Yeah, ain't that the truth? We were all concerned last season that we weren't going to get a goalie to fill in for oh my gosh, why did I want to say Fredericks? For what's that?
Fabianski?
Yeah, Fabianski. We were so concerned about that because Roberto was definitely not a good backup. So yeah, we're definitely much better off when it comes to the goalkeepers this year.
I mean, I will say that really it's more like 3 goalkeepers because my understanding is that David Martin is more of a coach at this point than an actual player. He just has a player's contract. So, I mean, I'm willing to not include him, really.
Wally, I think you make a great point. Definitely playing them in the League Cup, but I also feel like, remember the games we had where we were up 2 and 3 to nothing, and there was nothing really happening in the games. That's when we should have been putting in all of our younger players. Get them out there, let them have the experience. Even if they score a goal, fine, whatever. At certain points, it didn't matter. So I think that we need to be a little bit more conscious about that. And I feel like if Moyes wants to build everything, that's definitely what we need to do. He needs to start working the younger kids. Rob says our bench is going to be dreadful.
I mean, we definitely have the quality in the U23s. I mean, like, some of the guys on that U23 roster are probably, like, close to being able to make that jump to at least a championship quality side.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And, I mean, we typically, like, a lot of the players we buy are from the championship and everything. So if they're ready to play in the championship, then they could be ready to play now. So, I mean, I think it's time for them to prove themselves. And as you said, like those times where we're 2-0, 3-0 up in the second half, like put them on because they're going to have something to prove. So even if they're playing defensively, they're going to go into every challenge like wanting to win the ball and show their shit. So
James says this is the bench: Fabi, Noble, Lanzi, Diop, Fredericks, Johnson, Yarmo, Coventry, Masuaku. I mean, I don't think it's the strongest bench in the world. But
I mean, it's certainly not. But I mean, my bigger point, like when I'm talking about that, is at some point we're going to have Agbana injured, Cresswell injured, one of either Rice or Suchek injured because we always have problems in the midfield, Antonio injured, and then what do we do?
Yeah, you're 100% correct. We got to hope that we get players in during the following transfer windows. Charlie Boy wants to see Ariel up top. Hey, why not? If he can put it in, that's all that matters, right?
I was actually going to say that. He's got a good set of legs on him. He could probably go for a bit.
Exactly.
A good 20 minutes up top and see what he can do.
Rob thinks Fab's going to start over Ariola. I agree. I think he will too. I don't see Moyes going to start Ariola and over Fabi. Fabi did a great job last year. He kept us in many a game. So I think just for the respect factor, it's definitely going to be Fabianski.
Well, and so talking about Fabianski, I think the thing that is like we need to realize is Fabianski knows he's getting old. He knows he's coming towards the twilight of his career. There's a reason that he's bowing out of Poland and things like that to concentrate on club football, is because he feels like that's what he needs to do at this point. So he knows that somebody's going to be taking over for him sooner rather than later. And I think that bringing in Ariola with I think it's a loan to buy, pretty much.
Yeah, loan to buy.
I think that was, to give credit where it's due, I think that was a very good move because Ariola showed himself last year to be a fantastic goalkeeper. And I think that learning from somebody like Fabianski will just make him even better. And I think that Fabianski realizes that this is his moment to kind of be more of that mentor and bring up the young goalkeeper and maybe not play as many games. So I'm hopeful that Fabianski is being forward thinking about it for the club. So
yeah, I don't think he's concerned. He's considered geriatric when it comes to players. So I don't think it'll be an issue at all. I would like to see Origi signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, with him and Phil Jones being our marquee signings, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But yeah, that would help. That would help our strikers.
With the way that everybody poo-pooed on Lingard and getting that loan signing when it happened and everything, it did turn out quite well. If Moyes wants Phil Jones on a loan or like on a free or a super cheap transfer or something like that because he thinks he can do a job, Moyes has earned that for me.
Oh, Moyes absolutely has proven himself. Yeah. A lot of us questioned it last spring. What are we doing? Why are we bringing him back? But he definitely is building what he did at Everton here with West Ham. So, like I said, I don't think this year is going to be like our big year, but I think that, it's going to be another building year and it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. And, like you said earlier, the heart wants to give you the 5, the 4, the 5, and the head is, all right, well, we need to be okay with being in the 10, 11, 12 spot with our rebuilding at this point and hope for higher if we can get some decent signings in. I don't know if everyone in the chat agrees or disagrees, but that's my take on things. I think that we can't be overly harsh on our team this year. I think we have to look at this year as a growing year with the additional games and, health is going to be a big, big issue. So.
Thank you, Charlie.
There you go. Charlie's singing. Sign some players. Yeah, I know. It's rough. That's rough. Iron Dragon says he feels like there's a change coming. Okay, well, what is that change? What is the change? Will we get our ultimate goal of getting Gold, Brady, and Sullivan out? I don't think so. I don't. Yeah, Rob, you're right. We gotta. I don't want to say aim for the middle of the table, but I think we as supporters need to have that expectation that, until we can get more leverage, more funding, that's just where we're going to be. I even think 2023 is early, James. I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle unless something else changes. Or maybe you're saying things will change in 2023. Yeah. If they don't leave soon, I fear there'll be riots. I mean, I'll come over for a riot. Austin, Philly, we like to climb the street poles. So we'll be right there. Jumping on.
Being from Philly, I'm pretty sure you have a bachelor's degree in setting couches on fire. So.
Yeah. I mean, right. Exactly. We threw batteries at Santa. I'm in. Like, let's go. We'll make some noise as we get over there. I'll bring out the whole Philly crew here. Yeah, something's got to change because for us to sit this long and not get anyone is disappointing. But again, like I said, it's kind of what we've known. It's kind of what we've been through. My girl Bex popping in to say hello. And Charlie Boy, yes, you do know how to riot. We'll get the DC folks. I know Castia, he's got some rowdy ones down there. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
You really just need to bring Gritty to a West Ham game.
Yeah, Gritty, man. Gritty makes it happen. I'll come flying in from the roof. So definitely looking forward to it. And I think I saw Charlie said Augie is okay. He should be able to play. It was either Charlie or Rob, which is good because I was worried. I thought Agbana was still hurt. Oh, okay. Yeah, James is saying in 2023, GSB will be out. It would be nice. It would be nice.
Well, I did think that was the one interesting thing that the whole PAI group has done is they have gone and made a deal with the London Stadium folks on the side. The deal's contingent on them buying the club, but they pretty much like kind of superseded GSB, being like, "Hey, like why haven't you guys done this? Because we just made it look super easy." And I think it makes GSB look kind of bad.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think that's why they did it, and I thought it was quite clever, and it was honestly just solid negotiating tactics, quite frankly. So, I mean, the fact that they're being clever and they're being kind of tactical about it, I take that as a good sign, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's hope. We can only hope, right? Charlie boy, I thought I saw that he is injured, which worries me.
He was in training earlier in the week, I thought.
Yeah, so we'll have to see.
I doubt he's going to start. He might make the bench. And Diop Dawson really worries me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Diop is always, for me, I feel Diop is a big liability. But I could spend a whole show on just talking about Diop and Antonio, but we won't go there. Yeah, Wally, Augie.
And so with the whole like kind of center back transfer drama that we're having right now and everything, the point I made at one point was honestly my preferred option would be sell Diop and then get in both Zuma and Milinkovic.
That would be amazing. Do we think we can actually do that?
Do I think we can sell Diop in time? No, because we suck at negotiating everything. Do I think we can actually make signings of two center backs at the same time? No, because GSB sucks at negotiating.
Yeah, I would really like that. Because having more support for especially a center back is definitely something we need moving forward. Because when Agbana gets hurt, it definitely shows. It definitely shows. And I just think that Diop is just not strong enough yet. I know, James. I know you're a fan, but I think he's, if you go back and watch some of the goals that were made, he was a step or two behind his player, and he needs to be in front of them. He needs to be a couple steps ahead and making sure he's there before the ball gets there. He's there after the ball gets there. So that's my problem with it.
So my biggest point on Diop is the way I put it when I was kind of talking about the transfer rumors and everything is the reason I would sell Diop to get both Milinkovic and Zuma in is I think Zuma is better than Diop right now. And I think that Milinkovic has a higher ceiling than Diop in the future. So just the sell one player to get two in that fits a gap right now and then fits a gap for the future seems like good business to me.
Yeah, that does. Interesting that Wilson might not be available. That's the other striker that I was speaking about.
Yeah.
He's the one that tends to score goals on us. And did we say is Andy? I think Andy Carroll's fit to play too. So he always
Didn't Andy Carroll get released? I swear Newcastle released Andy.
No. Oh yeah. I think he is released. I'm seeing him as free transfer. So at least we don't have to worry about him. But okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Free. Hey, there's my friend down in the bayou. How's NOLA going? So, yeah, we'll see. Rob says that he thinks Diop's the scapegoat. Yeah, but proof is in the pudding, my friend.
I actually agree with that. Like, as much as it seems like I'm ragging on Diop and everything, like, he does get made out to be a scapegoat sometimes, and I agree with that. I just, again, like, if I'm being unemotional about it, like, and trying to put my thoughts about Diop as a player and everything aside, it would be good business to sell him now while he's worth money, because we suck at selling players when they're worth money. And getting in a seasoned player who has Premier League experience and would absolutely fill a gap in our starting squad right now, and then also buying a player that would fill a gap in the future. I like Diop. I think that Diop can do a job. I think that Diop has a bit to learn and everything. I think that if we could afford to hang on to Diop for 3 to 4 years, then he'd 100% become worth it. I just don't know if we can actually afford it right now.
I would love to sell him just because of my opinion on him, but I would also like to get more money in for better players. Yeah, Charlie, he is definitely better on the right side. He's definitely stronger. Yeah, we don't want Carroll back. Yeah, definitely not. You can keep him. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Sunday brings. I mean, I think that that's the real eye opener. I think preseason, obviously, we did well last year. It's never, in my opinion, it's never a true picture of what's going to go on. So I think Sunday will give us a little taste of what we can expect this season, as long as everyone can stay healthy. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Do you plan on meeting up with anyone at Penny Lane Pub on Sunday?
Not this Sunday, I don't think. The pub's just not open at 9 a.m. unless either Spurs or Liverpool is playing. So,
okay.
Because neither of them are playing, they're not going to be open. So I'll probably just watch it at the house. But
yeah, we'll be forced to watch it here because same thing, the pub won't be open. But I'm sure we'll all be able to get together after on that post match. We have Tommy and Chris. They'll be doing the post match show, so everyone make sure that they jump on to YouTube and go to the Hammers United channel, and Tommy and Chris will be doing that recap of the game on Sunday. So everyone, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Cameron, it was a pleasure having you. I really appreciate you jumping in as the first Hammer of the new season. Everyone, I just wanted to say thank you again for coming out, and I will be back next Thursday. The plan is to be on every Thursday this season for as long as I can go. And then I will have additional new segments, like I said, putting some other characters up from these other crazy teams. So we'll go head to head with them, and we'll just have a good time. And of course, my birthday's right around the corner, so we're going to have a birthday celebration show. And it just, good old Thirsty Thursday time. So, all right, everyone, I'll see you next Thursday. You know what to do. Come on, you Irons. Let's go, guys. Have a good night.